Welcome back to the channel, where today we're diving deep into one of the most unique and attention-grabbing motorcycles of 2025, the Benda LFC 700. This isn't your average cruiser. It's a bold, futuristic, and unconventional bike that's turning heads across the globe. Whether you're a hardcore rider or just an admirer of industrial design, the LFC 700 is a machine that refuses to be ignored. Now, before we jump into what makes this bike special, it's worth pointing out just how far Benda has come. The company, which was once a relatively obscure Chinese manufacturer, has rapidly gained traction by challenging the status quo with designs that feel more like concept bikes brought to life than conventional motorcycles. And the 2025 LFC 700 is the embodiment of that philosophy, a production bike that looks and feels like something out of a sci-fi movie. As the bike rolls into view, the first thing that grabs your attention is its front fascia. The design is aggressive, low-slung, and unmistakably futuristic. You've got a wide, almost brutalist front end with a horizontal LED strip that serves as the headlight, giving it a mean, predatory glare. The forks are upside down and massive, giving the bike a commanding presence. The wide front tire and low handlebars scream muscle cruiser, while the sharp angles and sculpted bodywork suggest influences from cyberpunk aesthetics. It's an imposing look, but not one that feels overdone. Everything seems calculated to maximize presence and performance. Moving along the side, the proportions of the LFC 700 begin to tell their own story. This bike is long, very long. The wheelbase stretches out like something you'd expect from a custom drag bike, yet the build quality and precision feel thoroughly modern. One of the most talked about features is the massive 310-section rear tire, and yes, it's as wild in person as it sounds on paper. It's not just for show, either. That massive tire plays into the bike's low-slung, drag-inspired posture and provides a stable footprint for serious straight-line performance. The side panels are angular and stylized, drawing the eye toward the engine and exhaust system, which sits low and snarls with a throaty growl when you start it up. The dual exhaust pipes are mounted under the bike and exit just behind the foot pegs, contributing to its low center of gravity and muscular attitude. From the rear, the LFC 700 continues its aggressive motif. The tail section is minimal but sculpted, with integrated LED taillights that glow in a crisp red. The pillion seat is small and neatly integrated into the bodywork, so while it can technically carry a passenger, it's clear the LFC 700 is built primarily for solo rides. The rear fender hugs that massive tire tightly, and together with the clean, streamlined tail design, it creates a silhouette that's unlike anything else on the road today. It's simultaneously raw and refined, something rarely achieved in a production motorcycle. Step onto the LFC 700 and the experience becomes even more immersive. The seat height is low, making it accessible for a wide range of riders, and the ergonomics place you in a relaxed, cruiser-style position. Your feet sit forward, your hands are low and wide, and your back is straight. It's the kind of posture that encourages long-distance cruising without sacrificing control. The seat itself is firm but supportive, wrapped in a premium material that feels durable and upscale. What really surprises, though, is the level of fit and finish throughout the cockpit. The instrument cluster is fully digital, offering a clean and crisp display that's easy to read even in direct sunlight. It gives you all the essential information: speed, RPM, gear indicator, fuel range, and more in a compact and stylish layout. The backlight can be customized, and the user interface is intuitive. While you don't get a full-on touchscreen or smartphone connectivity like on some premium European bikes, the LFC 700 offers just enough modern tech to feel current without overcomplicating the ride. Switchgear on the handlebars feels solid and tactile, and Benda hasn't skimped on materials. Everything from the grips to the mirrors has a quality finish, showing that attention to detail was a priority in this model. One area where Benda really impressed is in the subtle design elements, little touches like the laser-etched logo, the sculpted fuel tank cap, and the brushed metal foot pegs that make the bike feel special. But let's talk about the heart of this machine, the engine. The LFC 700 is powered by a 680cc inline-four liquid-cooled engine that puts out approximately 94 horsepower. That might not sound outrageous in numbers, but what really matters is how it delivers that power. The engine is smooth, responsive, and surprisingly torquey for a four-cylinder in this segment. It builds power progressively and has a satisfying growl as you roll on the throttle. And thanks to its long wheelbase and fat rear tire, the bike remains planted even under aggressive acceleration. The gearbox is a 6-speed unit that shifts smoothly, with a relatively light clutch pull and good feedback through the lever. No quick shifter here, but again, the LFC 700 leans toward raw, mechanical engagement rather than digital intervention. The throttle mapping is well tuned, and while the bike doesn't come with a suite of ride modes or traction control settings, it feels predictable and manageable, even for less experienced riders. Braking is handled by dual front discs with 4-piston calipers and a single rear disc, all sourced from reputable suppliers. ABS comes standard, and the system engages smoothly without being intrusive. The stopping power is more than adequate for a bike of this weight and size. Riding the LFC 700 feels different from most bikes in this category. It's not a sport bike. It's not a traditional cruiser. It occupies a kind of hybrid space, where style, road presence, and real-world performance intersect. At low speeds, you feel the length and heft of the bike, but once you get rolling, it becomes surprisingly nimble for its dimensions. The suspension, which consists of an inverted front fork and a rear monoshock, is tuned for comfort over outright performance, but it handles city potholes and highway stretches with ease. Now, let's talk numbers. One of the biggest surprises about the Benda LFC 700 is the price. While exact figures vary depending on your market and available trims, it's expected to land somewhere in the range of $9,000 to $10,000. That's an incredibly competitive price for a bike that looks like this and delivers this kind of performance. It undercuts similarly spec cruisers from Japanese and European brands by a wide margin, while offering arguably more visual impact and individuality. Fuel economy isn't the main focus here, but the LFC 700 manages respectable figures for a bike in this category, somewhere around 45 miles per gallon depending on how you ride. With a generously sized tank, you're looking at decent cruising range, making it practical enough for weekend road trips as well as daily commuting. In terms of reliability, it's still early days for long-term data, but Benda has been working to improve quality control and dealer support outside of China, especially as it targets more global markets. Based on our initial impressions, the build feels solid, and parts quality is better than you might expect at this price point. So, what's the verdict? The 2025 Benda LFC 700 is a bold statement in the cruiser segment. It dares to be different, blending futuristic design with respectable performance and everyday usability. It's not just a bike, it's a conversation starter, a rolling piece of industrial art. And while it might not be for everyone, for those looking to break out of the ordinary and make a visual statement on two wheels, it's an incredibly compelling option. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the latest bikes and gear. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Say, is the LFC 700 a hit or miss for you? Would you ride it, or is it just too wild? Until next time, ride safe and keep exploring.